Bay Park might be one of San Diego's best kept secrets, known for its amazing views of Mission Bay, its proximity to downtown San Diego, and its overall suburban feel. You guys are absolutely going to want to see everything that Bay Park has to offer you and your family. We're going to touch down on some of the things like local dining, amenities, locations, things to do for fun. You guys are not going to miss this video. Check it out. All right, so the first we're going to talk about is the overall feel of the neighborhood and the communities. Guys, if you are watching any of the video that I'm showing you right now, then you will see why I enjoy Bay Park so much. There is a unique blend of what I believe to be a suburban feel, so you do get that city feel, but it's a really residential neighborhood. Each sub-pocket of Bay Park kind of feels like its own little area. I think one of the best parts that I believe make Bay Park so unique is the laid-back atmosphere. Yes, you are incredibly close to downtown San Diego. It's honestly very convenient. We're going to talk about that in one of the other points. But one of the best parts is it actually has a really suburban feel. And I know for a lot of people that are considering moving to San Diego or getting orders to San Diego, that's probably one of the things that you imagine is probably not going to be available to you, is some of what you're getting out in the East Coast or maybe even in Texas, that nice suburban feel where, there's homes and kids and people can play. Right now, I am actually sitting in Tecolote Canyon where, honestly, you guys are gonna get a bunch of video of it. This is probably one of the most relaxing environments. Hopefully my mic is working the way it's supposed to, and I am not catching the wind that I am getting from Mission Bay. I'm also not catching all the children that are playing in the park right behind you. But the big thing is Bay Park has a lot to offer in terms of overall community feel and community vibe. But let's talk about something else. Speaking of the breeze, guys, I just want to let you know how amazing it feels right here. And I think this is something you're going to get over pretty much any part of Bay Park that you're going to be moving into. The breeze that I'm getting is directly from the bay. I mean, for most of the homes, if you're watching the drone footage right now, what that brings is a nice calming breeze into your home. I'll be honest with you, I did a open house here not too long ago over in Bay Park, and I will tell you, all I did was leave the front door and the two front windows open. Not only did I get amazing views of the bay, I also got an incredibly great cooling breeze that circulated throughout the entirety of the house. And that's something I don't think you're going to get in some of the other neighborhoods that you might find deeper into the east side of San Diego. But we'll talk about those, I'm sure, in another video. All right, so getting into that next point, that is the location and accessibility to all things San Diego. I honestly think it is incredibly difficult to match the vibe and the atmosphere that I get here in San Diego, or in Bay Park for that matter, with any other smaller pocket community. I think one of the best parts of Bay Park is going to be the fact that you are right off of the 5. And don't worry, I don't mean right off the 5, although if I listen intently enough, I probably can hear the highway from over here in Tecolote. The big thing is that you guys are so close to the main highways that getting to and from places of work are going to be incredibly easy. Now, I will caveat this, if you are going to be stationed or working in North County, this is probably not the most ideal location for you. But for those of you that aren't worrying about that, then I think you're still good on. Let's get to the rest of the video. So like I mentioned, I mean, the 5 is right there. This leads you to places like La Jolla, Carlsbad. This also takes you to places like Mission Beach, which is right across the bridge. And honestly, for most people that live in Bay Park, you don't really even need to touch the highway. You can get right on Garnett Avenue, head straight down to PB, and from PB, just take a nice sharp left off of Mission Bay Boulevard, and boom, there you are down in Mission Beach, enjoying the wonderful festivities of Belmont Park. One of the other amazing factors that I think really make Bay Park stand out is the fact that it is pretty accessible in terms of traffic and walking. I'm sure I'm putting the walking score up here right now. For my frequent flyers, those of you that are looking to live in San Diego but will continue to travel and do things elsewhere, if you've seen any of the videos we've done before on Point Loma, you guys know how bad the airplane noise pollution can be there. That's not really what I'm finding here. There is the faint sound of the airplanes flying by, but it is so very minimal that I'm really not even noticing it. In fact, at one point in this video, I completely forgot that I'd heard it at all. Said something that was like, oh, there's no planes, and then boom, the plane flew over and I look like a liar. I have heard not one plane, which means what? Minus that one that I just heard. Of course, as I'm saying that, that's when it would happen. We're gonna fix that. The big thing is, regardless of how close you are to the airport, there is not a lot of noise pollution, which I think makes this a premier location, both for frequent travelers and for those of you that are coming in and out of San Diego, especially if you're planning on doing any investment properties here and looking to do something like an Airbnb, vacation rental thing. We'll talk about it. So now we get to one of my favorite talking points, and this is the outdoor activities. I think I mentioned it in the accessibility part. One of the things that I love about living in San Diego since I moved here has been the ability to take lots of walks to get to point A to point B. I can go to the local shopping centers. I am a personal fan of my electric scooter. If you haven't met my electric scooter yet, I promise you in one of my videos, I will be on that electric scooter driving around all of Coronado. I promise you I will be doing it at some point. The big thing here is in terms of outdoor activities, running is very much a thing you can do here. Lots of the streets are residential streets. There's not as many heavily trafficked roads in and out of Bay Park, the main suburban area. So family walks, late night walks, bicycle rides, those things. Now I will preface this just a little bit. Be mindful, there are lots of hills in Bay Park. There is one particular hill that I love. It's right next to one of the schools that I have a listing at over in Borison. And I will tell you, it is my favorite / not favorite road to drive down or up when I'm on the motorcycle. It is incredibly steep like most of the hills here. So if you are a bicyclist, I would be mindful of that. Be ready. I hope your thighs are strong because they're gonna need to be. For the children, we have access to things like this. I'm in Tecolote Park right now. As you guys can see, there are lots of family events. You've got basketball courts, you've got the playground for the kids, you've got tons of baseball fields. I mean, it's absolutely crazy how many kids are out here playing right now. And the weather feeling as good as it does, it really makes it one of those things you want to do often. From Tecolote Park to some of the dog parks that are nearby, you guys are going to have a lot of opportunities to see a lot of different things that I think are going to make you really want to stay outside as much and as often as you can. Okay, so now we are getting to my favorite subject, and this is the local dining. Guys, I love local dining. I think one of the best things I learned about living in San Diego is the number of options to maybe eat at locations that aren't directly tied to franchises. And I'm not talking about McDonald's or Del Taco. What I'm talking about more specifically is one of the most popular spots here in Bay Park, and that's the Bay Park Fish Company. For my seafood lovers, this place is an absolute must, as they offer some of the best fresh net catches of the day and have some of, in my opinion, the best fish tacos that I've had since I got here. Another personal favorite is Lucy's Bar and Kitchen. This is a common place for a lot of local folks to hang out. As a matter of fact, actually on a Sunday, this is surprisingly one of the busiest times that I've actually got to go over there and got to enjoy some of their meals. It's an incredibly popular place with a nice vibe, a nice atmosphere, and you know, if you're looking for a chill vibe place to hang out on a weekday night, it's not a bad spot either. Speaking of drinks and cocktails and fun, San Diego is a beer town. So if you are interested in craft beers, you have places like Coronado Brewing Company. That place is also incredibly good. They also offer a large amount of wine tastings and things like that. If you're looking to get out, especially if you PCS here for the first time, you know, typically, especially those single people or the families that kind of just want to connect with their families, that's a great place to go. They have live wine tastings where you guys can go there, kind of peruse some of the local craft selections and kind of find some new flavors. Like I mentioned in the location accessibility, the best part about living here is, of course, the fact that most of the places that I named in this video are within walking or biking distance, or at least a short drive. I think that is what really makes Bay Park stand out as well as it does. Now, for schools and family life, you guys have a plethora of options. Like I mentioned, we are incredibly close to Claremont. There are a number of great schools here, including Bay Park Elementary School. The ability to get your children to and from school, especially for those that like to walk their children to school. I know myself and my daughter, we live on Coronado, and some days, yeah, I don't really feel like driving her to school, and some days I'm like, you know what? Let's take a walk. Let's take the scooters out, and then I have to carry it back, so I'm usually not too happy on those days. But the big thing is the ability to take my children to school, and with so many greatly rated schools here in the Bay Park area, it's kind of a win-win for the family. Like I spoke about in the recreations outdoors, I mean, that's another big thing, is the weekends are spent getting away from TV time and the internet time. We are coming out here and we're enjoying outdoor activities, whether we're hanging out at the park in Tecolote or we're taking walks or going to Mission Bay. There's always going to be something for you to do with your family. This is including, but not limited to, heading over to Mission Bay for water activities, heading to SeaWorld for some SeaWorld activities and spending a lot of money, heading down to Balboa, which is another 15 minutes down the road for the zoo. I mean, there's so many things to do here, not to mention the hiking. I mean, there's so many things to do here. I could make an entire 30-minute video on the number of things there are to do here in Bay Park. All right, so from the real estate point of view, this is probably where, if I haven't lost you already, I might lose a few of you. Bay Park, like most of San Diego, is undergoing some slight modifications. You're gonna find in this area a nice mix of homes. You're gonna find some older style homes that, you know, maybe are in need of renovation or are perfect for you and your family, and then you're going to find those homes that have been picked up by investors, have been a little more modernized. I'll be honest with you, as much as I too hate paying for homes that have been modernized, I kind of like the way that they're doing it. A lot of these places are large open windows where I can see the bay. These are large decks. There's even one home in mind that I know has 2 decks, one in top and one in the back, and the one in the back overlooks the entire bay over the top of the home. It is absolutely amazing what some of these investors are doing with the homes that are available here. But of course, that comes with a very particular price. And I can tell you, having a military family member who just PCS'd here that we sold a home to last year, having visited them, spent time with them on their deck, watching as the sunset over Mission Bay, it is absolutely to die for, and it is amazing. I will lose myself in this video if I keep going down that rabbit hole. So there you guys have it. Hopefully you enjoyed this wonderful breakdown of Bay Park as a neighborhood and as a whole, focusing on things like dining, the real estate market, and of course, schools, activities, everything. I love, love, love this community. And I love getting out here to kind of get a little bit more in depth. I think as we get so wrapped up in helping PCSing folks buy and sell real estate, it gets easy to sometimes miss these smaller communities as they're kind of looking for a lot of the similar places, talking Escondido, Carlsbad. So these small subsets of communities, Bay Ho, Bay Park, Claremont, these spots I absolutely enjoy viewing for you guys, and that's why I make these videos. It's not only for you guys to kind of get a real life view of what these areas look like, but it's also an opportunity for me to kind of step out. So when you guys call me via the number that's posted right here, you guys are getting an authentic view of my actual opinion of learning these new areas. I have loved living in Coronado, and I remember as I was moving here, not PCSing, but I remember as I was moving here watching a lot of video and content on YouTube, I was not getting the vibe that Coronado would be a place I would want to go just based off some of the videos I had seen. So the opportunity for me to now make content for you guys and tell you my own personal non-San Diego native opinion of these areas, learning just as you are learning, has been absolutely a blessing. So with that said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this content. I look forward to making tons more of it for you. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, and feel free to check out more videos. For those of you that are interested, feel free to drop me a comment if there's a particular neighborhood you would like me to preview next. Until then, guys, stay classy.